Salut à tous, aujourd'hui on a une nouvelle invitée que vous avez peut-être déjà vue dans ma vidéo de rentrée.
You wanna be in it?
Ah, sure.
Moi, je m'appelle Kennedy. Je suis américaine. Je suis là pour le semestre. Je suis une étudiante des échanges.
Bon, pour la petite histoire, en fait on a une amie commune et on s'est rencontrés dans le train en septembre. Et donc je pensais que ça pourrait être assez intéressant d'avoir une vraie personne qui connaît vraiment les États-Unis et la France et qui a pu faire la comparaison entre les deux. Donc je vous ai mis un petit sticker de questions en story la semaine dernière et vous m'avez posé quelques questions que vous aimeriez que je pose à Kennedy. C'est un peu complexe cette phrase. Donc en fait on va faire cette vidéo en franglish. Ouais. Mi-français, mi-anglais. Mais ne vous inquiétez pas, il y aura des sous-titres là pour que vous compreniez bien. Et puis voilà, on va voir ce que vous m'avez envoyé. Are you ready?
Je suis prête.
The first question is, are there like things that surprised you a lot?
Ouh, c'est difficile. Anglais ou...
Comme tu veux.
Ah, d'accord, ok. C'est les personnalités des Français. Les Américains sont très sympas.
Oui?
English for a second. Just French people are a lot more distant and cold. When I first got here, I would smile at people down the street like bonjour, just random people. But in America, that's so normal. Like I will be talking with some random person in line waiting for my groceries. But here, they're a little more just distant. But I can appreciate that because I'm often antisocial and I don't always like talking with strangers. So I think that was the biggest surprise for me, and especially my classes, they're not very friendly with me, my other classmates, my French ones, so I guess that's the biggest difference for me, or biggest surprise, I guess. I didn't know what to expect.
What is... We aren't going to talk about memories because it's not the end, but what is your best memory of France until now, and what is the worst one?
I can start with the worst one because I have one right here. I have so many good memories, but I feel bad for speaking so much English, but I was leaving my class and I had a really terrible day in class with all my classmates and just something went wrong. I forgot what this happened like 2 months ago. And I was walking down the street. It was barely raining, but I hate getting wet. And I had my umbrella up, and I think that's why, but somebody drove by in their car. I think it was someone from my class and shouted at me, "Loser!"
Oh, that's so mean.
I went home and cried. I was like...
Ah, c'est trop méchant.
I know, c'est trop méchant. Je sais pas pourquoi. The parapluie.
Oh là là. And so you have a best memory. Maybe several best. But...
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to pick just one. I've traveled a lot in France, like to all like the cities, like Bordeaux, Aix-en-Provence, Paris, oui. There's so many I forgot, like, and just going to those places, it was so beautiful, and I loved being there, and just meeting, like, just seeing new towns, and like, even just meeting new people. I recently met this, like, French man who was taking me around the Loire for a little bit, because he had a car, and that was really cool to see, because it's so much different than, like, taking the bus. Or just walking everywhere. It was so much different to like seat in a car, and he was like taking me to like his house in the country, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So that was amazing. And I don't think I have like an exact favorite memory though. Just even being in town, like going to get groceries, I'm like, it's so beautiful, I love it here, like it's so much different. But sorry, that was a little like generalized, but
yeah,
it was very cool to see.
Do you have like something funny that happened to you?
Oh,
I think many things funny because...
like when I arrived, or is that just like that happened to me?
I don't know, that's just something funny that happened to you.
The loser thing for sure, like that was like funny, now it's comical, like...
Yeah, when you think about it after.
Yeah. If I thought about these questions before, I could answer them so much better. Something funny that happened to me. Oh, I was having another absolute terrible day of just terribleness. And at the end of the day, I was like, okay, I need to go get some food. I have nothing to eat at home. And as I'm walking back, I had to buy a paper bag because I forgot my reusable one. And I was walking in the middle of this crowded street, and my entire back from the bottom fell out and my yogurt exploded all over me. And everybody just stood there and like watched me. They're just like, wow. Then the light turned to green, and all the cars were trying to come, but I was like picking up my groceries, like, and I knew where to put them, so I was just holding them in my arms. That was okay when it happened. So mad. En colère.
Yeah.
But no.
You didn't laugh at that moment.
Yes,
but
it's funny now. It was right by the Chateau d'Angers.
how did you experience your arrival in France, and now what do you think about life here?
Oh wow. I don't hate America by any means, but like I do not want to go home. I love the way of life here so much more. I feel like it's a lot more, oh, I got made fun of for saying this word before, décontracté.
Oh, okay.
In America, everything's just like do this, do that, do that, do that. You don't really sit back and enjoy things. But I noticed here, you know, you take a long lunch break, or you'll hang out at dinner for a long time with friends rather than you eat and get out in 30 minutes. Like at home, that's how a restaurant works. But like here, it's just you lay back and talk with people and like genuinely get to connect.
Okay.
So I feel like that's like the biggest, what even was the question? Oh yeah, just life here is amazing. I love it, and it made me realize that when I go home, I want to get a job where I can travel back here. I definitely, I have to come back eventually. Like I can't just go home and stay there forever. So that's just what it made me realize. You know, I'm like, I love it here. The people, well, I said not the nicest, but I'm sure once I get better at the language, I'll be able to connect with people better and talk. And yeah, I love life here. It's amazing.
What was the most shocking in France? Like, I think that the question is not really shocking, like, positively, but maybe negatively, I don't know. But shocking is like a negative word in my mind.
Yeah, choquant. Choqué. Suit. I guess I kind of already said it, but just the way I've been treated has been not that great by my peers and other people my age. I guess that's the most shocking. Like at home, I'm very accepting of anybody. I also have some international students in my classes, and I do not speak a word of their language, but I'm always like, I don't know, if I get assigned to be in a project with them, I'll like talk to them, make sure they're understanding. But these people, they they do not really like me that much, and I'm not sure why, because I'm very normal in class. I get my work done. It's also in English, so I'm like, wouldn't you want me to be in your group and help you because you're graded on your English? But I guess not. So I guess that's the most shocking. Everything else has been amazing though. Like,
Wonderful.
fantastic. I also, well, it was a big difference for me, pardon, to get used to not having a car. I use my car everywhere at home, but here, you know, you walk everywhere, which I love also. Like, I've been loving these walks and just like having to do everything.
Yeah, because we're in a big city, so and not so big. Like a city that's not Paris, so you know,
exactly,
we can walk.
So it's a big difference for me, even like, you know, going to the grocery store, getting groceries, having to walk like back, or just, you know, doing anything, going to the bar, like going, I don't even know, going shopping, like you walk everywhere. That was a lot different for me too, but yeah, it's a good thing.
Would you consider like coming back here and maybe living here, maybe not your life, but a while?
100%. Like,
yeah,
that's like sorry, I have like something in my throat. It's totally my plan.
Yeah,
I want to, you know, Emily in Paris. Yeah, I want to do that. Like, I want my job to send me here and be like, live there for a bit. I don't think I could permanently move here just because I have, you know, every single person I know.
Of course.
Chez moi. But no, for sure, like that's what I've been thinking about, and you know, I've been here for a good amount of time, and it's definitely long enough for me to, you know, become used to my life here. I'm almost mad I'm going home now because I'm like, oh, I'm finally adjusted to everything. I know what's going on. I know how to, like, you know, do everything, and now I'm going home. So it's very, yeah, no, I'm coming back.
I have the impression that the American people, they see Paris and that's all.
Yes.
But you saw other things, so would you really like to live in Paris or just in France in general? You don't have an idea?
Honestly, I love Paris. Paris. I feel weird saying it like that, like in front of French people. Paris, Paris, whatever. I love it there, but honestly, like big cities, I don't like them so much. I had the option to live, like during this time here, to live there rather than Angers. And I knew, I was like, I don't think I would like the big city with all the people and like there's so many tourists there and it's just always, you know, a lot going on. And I don't know if I would like that. So I'm not sure. Maybe like a bigger city that's not Paris.
Did you notice a big difference between school, like not school, but university?
Huge.
Here and
Yes.
Like what?
The classes are a lot longer. All my classes are 3 hours minimum. So
okay, not me.
Yeah, I was
So
like, maybe that's
it
just
depends,
at SCAM, but that's very long for me. I cannot pay attention for that amount of time. And the classes are very small too. It reminds me of high school almost. It's like, you know, 30 students maybe. And yeah, and it's like totally normal to stay at the school the entire day. You know, you have one class in the morning and then a like 4-hour break. They'll just stay at school. Which, yeah, at home I would maybe do that, but like go to like a different building, like to a library and just sit. But like here it's like totally like I've spent 8 hours at a time there and I'm like, well, that's a long day, you know, just to be like doing so. I understand why everyone's...
These are the worst days.
Yeah, and I understand why they're all depressed. Like someone was telling me like, they're like, oh, all the French students are depressed. And I was like, okay, yeah, but I'm like, okay, no.
Someone told you that?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, yeah, like they must be from like the schooling here. I don't know. Do you get to pick your classes, like what time they're at here or no? Okay, because that's like my thing for me at home. I'm like, I hate waking up early. So I make all my classes in the afternoon, like back to back.
In the United States you can choose.
Yes, you choose all of them. Like you can be like, I want to take this class or this class, and then like this professor or this one. There's like a whole system online. It's a website. It's called Rate My Professor. So you can see if they're like good or bad before you choose. And then you also get to pick, the time it's at. So I always make mine to be,
that's wonderful.
like right now, you know, I'm always awake in the afternoon. Not in the evening, but afternoon, you know.
Yeah. Do you prefer like American food or French food?
Ça dépend.
Yeah, of course.
All I miss about American food is the accessibility of it. It's very easy. Does that make sense? It's just, okay.
I don't know.
Laissez-moi expliquer. It's very easy just to have, like, the food has preservatives in it, so it stays longer. So, like, here I'll buy, like, raspberries from, you know, the grocery store, and the next day they're, like, gross. Like, you can't eat them already. But at home, you know, I'd have those in my fridge for, like, 2 weeks, and they'd be fine. Which is terrifying a little bit. Like, that's kind of gross in itself. But, American food is also just very comforting to me, obviously. Like, I miss, like, mac and cheese. And just things
peanut
like...
butter.
Exactly, yeah, peanut butter.
Cookie dough, all of that.
You know, yeah, like, I just miss, like, stuff like that. But I love, like, obviously, like, French bread, like, every day from, like, the boulangerie. I get, like, my demi-baguette and, like, everything. And just, like, you know, prepare food that way. And it's, like, that's a lot easier, I must say. Like, and cheaper. But, yeah, I am getting a little... not sick of French food, but it's like, it seems like there aren't too many options between what I can have, especially for like lunch. I'll have like a sandwich every day or a salad or I don't know.
Okay.
Unless I'm just not getting the right food. America's a lot better for cheap fast food, obviously. That's what we're known for. So it's like very easy like for that type of stuff. But here I think it's definitely more like better cuisine.
Did you before you arrived listen to like French music? Not at all.
I did. I feel like it's a very good way to learn new words and phrases and everything, and I try to understand the songs. I didn't listen to it a lot, but I actually listened to it less being here than when I was at home.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, because everybody listens to American songs here.
Seriously, so, yeah, when I go out, I'm like, I thought I'd hear so many more French songs, but it's all, like either songs that I listen to all the time back home, or it's like Spanish music, which is like fun still, you know, I love it, but I don't understand any of it. But yeah, no, I don't know, I have like some French artists I absolutely love. I love her.
Angèle, yeah.
Angèle's
actually
good.
She's not really French.
What?
She comes from Belgium.
Oh.
But she's like francophone, so it's okay. She speaks French, so
she passes.
Yeah.
This girl's always super popular. at least in America.
That's old.
Oh yeah, no, my music taste is from like 10 years ago. I'm behind.
C'était indie là. Pom, I love Pom.
Pom, yeah, I like her songs. Her songs, I think she's actually my favorite. Like,
and she has such a wonderful voice. I love her. Did you watch, do you like some French movies?
Sorry, I'm like, it's one of those bubbles. Yeah. Sorry, I feel like these answers are all so boring, but yeah, I watched like some French movies before coming here. Yeah, I watched some French movies in my classes, but they're very like educational almost. Like they were like always about like the war, or like yeah, like Joyeux Noël. Like you're like I just watched LOL. It's on Netflix. And yeah, when I was with like that French man who took me along the countryside, I would only watch French movies with him, and like yeah, and I'd be like,
and they were great movies.
He loves action movies,
but in French.
Yeah, and I was like,
French action movies.
I couldn't keep up. I was literally like trying to like read the subtitles because I was like, can you at least turn on like the sous-titres pour moi? Like, yeah, it was a lot, and I'm not a huge fan of action movies.
And the last question was yeah, books. Did you ever try to read books in French?
I read, okay, this is all back home, it's not even here, but I don't read books that much as it is, unfortunately. I used to love books when I was a kid, but not so much anymore. I just don't have the time. But I read, it was a play back home in my French literature class, and it was Huis Sartre.
Okay, I don't know.
So good. If you ever want to read it, like read it. I love it. It's like,
okay.
It's that quote. It's like, l'enfer c'est les autres.
Yeah.
Like that's where it comes from. Very good. That's like the only like French like book I've read, or The Petit Prince.
Écoutez, c'est la fin de cette vidéo. J'espère que ça vous a intéressé. Merci.
Merci.
Et ben écoutez, enfin cette vidéo elle sortira après que Kennedy soit rentré aux États-Unis. Parce que tout simplement. Mais de toute façon elle est toujours d'actualité. Ce qu'on dit va pas changer en un mois. Donc on espère que tu auras passé un bon retour chez toi à ce moment-là. Mais c'est pas tout de suite, donc pour l'instant il te reste encore un petit mois. Voilà, merci, à plus vous, à la semaine prochaine. Et salut.